Hello, I'm Lee from Data Harvest, and in today's video I'm going to show you our dissolved oxygen sensor. Now normally I would start by showing you how to attach the Bluetooth sensor. The Bluetooth sensor obviously has Bluetooth built in and USB and has a built-in rechargeable battery. It's one of the only sensors you really should calibrate. Well, you have to calibrate it before you start. So you have to calibrate it up to 30 minutes, which I've done before the video. I'll explain how I did that a little bit more after I go through a couple more steps to show you how this works. So I've already connected to the software. So you literally just leave it sitting on a bench here. I have put my KCI electrolyte solution in the end, screwed the cap up, but I'll show you a bit more about that just in a couple of minutes. So I've gone to connect. You would connect to your sensor now. On our Bluetooth sensors, they all have a unique 6-digit code on the front. So if you've got multiples in the classroom, you know whose is whose, and that's how you connect to it. So we've already connected to it. As you can see, we're connected to the one finishing 942. I've got it on 150% saturated, which is what you have to have. I'll come back and show you a bit more about the milligrams one down the bottom there as well. The mg one, not milligrams, the mg one down the bottom there, okay? So you'll see on the live data it's showing 96.9%. So for 30 minutes, you just leave it on your table. When you've calibrated for 30 minutes, this is distilled water I have in front of me here. Go about a centimetre, so about 10 millimetres above the water. Make sure it's been stirred a lot beforehand, so it's saturated. You will then go to devices. We're on here already. Click calibrate. Go on to calibrate. It's now going to calibrate it up to 100%, which is what we need. You can see it's now sitting level around 100% there, which is absolutely perfect. So now that we're all attached and we're on here, I go and click the graph button, click start. I'm just going to drop it down into here. So I'm not going to do an official experiment as such today. But there you go. If you touch the end of the electrode, it will spike, which is done on the screen there, which is fine. But you can see it's now reading the oxygen content of the distilled water there. So it is simple to use, but you will need to read the manual at least once to start off with to show how to actually calibrate it. So to calibrate it, what you do with this, so you get a couple of membranes with each one, which are those. You get the KCI electrolyte solution with it as well. You do also get some memory paper. On the end here, you can see there's something you probably can't see. You have to look for, hopefully when you have one, there's a slightly gold version on there. If that is covered in any sort of corrosion or any build-up of algae, use the emery paper just to, that way around, just to actually clean the end off there so you get a good reading. When you first get it, obviously you won't need to do that. You fill that up with the halfway with the electrolyte, screw it on, and don't do it so tight it's protruding, just so it's flat inside. It will then make sure you do have a little bit of electrolyte squirt out, so therefore you know it's completely full inside. Then put it down on the table for around about 30 minutes to calibrate. Now you have to make sure you're connected to a USB or Bluetooth, but it must be connected to the software to allow it to calibrate for about 30 minutes. Once it's done, you'll see it on the right hand side where it's got the live data, and I'm circling it now with the mouse so you can see that on the video as well. Once you've done about 30 minutes, that will settle at a very strange reading. Don't worry about the reading at this point. Then put it a centimetre above distilled water and you'll go up to devices and calibrate, and then it will calibrate to 100%. Now if you want to be more accurate, because when we calibrate we are assuming you're at sea level and 21 degrees as well. But if you want to use one of the other ranges on here, if you go to calibrate on here, you can be a little bit more precise by putting the temperature in and putting the atmospheric pressure in there as well. So you can do that on there as well. But there are lots of experiments you can do with the oxygen sensor. I'll read a list that I've got here. I mean, it's on-site testing in streams and ponds. You can use it for photosynthesis in an aquarium. You can use it for the fish tank aquaria, as I said. Part of data for water quality, along with maybe the conductivity, the wireless conductivity sensor as well. So there's many things for it. The most common in schools does tend to be the photosynthesis in an aquarium, and that's a really nice one to do. All right, there are lots of videos on our website. We have a secondary academy that we split into 3 parts. One part is how the actual wireless sensors work. Another part is how the EasySense 2 software works. And the third part is how those two work together for lots of experiments. So please go on there and have a look at that. Would love you to subscribe as well to our YouTube channel. Just click on the bell down the bottom and allow notifications so you'll know when we put more videos up. If you would like any more information, please contact us here, sales@data-harvest.co.uk. Thank you.